Hello everyone, today I'm going to make some vegan pizza, and first I want to make the dough. I'm using King Arthur's all-purpose flour, and I have 4 cups ready here to sift. But first I want to test my yeast because I buy it in bulk. So I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1, 2, and a half a teaspoon of cane sugar. I'm going to eye it here. Half a teaspoon. The sugar helps the yeast grow. And I'm going to mix it with warm water, warm to the touch. You don't want hot water, you don't want warm water. And I am going to let it, just mix it a little bit to let it kind of melt. And then let it see if it works. If it works, it's good to go. If not, I would have to get a different yeast. So this, I'd like to test my yeast before I begin. So this is the first step. I'll be back to show you what the yeast should look like. Okay, we're back, and I wanted to show you what this looks like. As you can see, it's working. So the yeast is good to go. My next step is I'll put this aside, and I am going to sift all my flour. By sifting the flour, you're incorporating oxygen into your flour, and it will be a much nicer dough and airier, if that makes sense. And I use this device. You could use whatever you have. This is exactly for that, for the sifting your flour. And that's 4 cups of flour. And I'm also going to add my salt, and 2 pinches of salt, I would say, probably a teaspoon. And I'll sift it all together. As you can see, some of the salt is not going through, and I'm not going to put it through because it's bigger chunks. And I'll put that aside. Only what goes through the sifter I will let go. Mix this up a little bit with your hand, like that. And next I will add my water, warm water again. I'm just going to mix it up, and I'm going to get my oil ready because I'm going to add oil to the dough. Once this is done, while this is working and to rise and everything, I will get my sauce ready. I will use 1 container of pasta sauce, whichever one you like, but vegan, because that's vegan. To that, I am adding this sweet pepper dip. They have it at the store. It's optional. So if you can't find it, no worries. Just add this. And I'm going to add half of the cream cheese to the sauce. It just gives it a very nice flavor, nice consistency. This is like a cream cheese, but it's vegan. And so what I will do is make this on the stove, and I'll show you that part. But right now, let's finish the dough. And also the mozzarella shreds. I make my own cheese, but I'm out of it. So I have this. This you can keep in the freezer. And when you don't have your own cheese, I use this one, the mozzarella shreds, and they have it at Costco. So I'm going to put this in. As you can see, it's working really well. It's like real frothy, and that's when you know it's really, the yeast is good, because I buy, like I said, in bulk, and because I buy it in bulk, sometimes if you don't use it enough, then it goes bad. It just doesn't rise properly. So I am going to add my water little by little to form a dough. Like this. I use my hands. I've washed my hands, of course. Okay, so I had 2 cups of water there. Let's see how much water my flour will take. Now this, how much flour your dough will take, it depends on the moisture in the air and different things. So you might add the whole 2 cups because I also added the yeast with the water. Or you might add a little bit less. It's okay. If you want to make 1 pizza, just mix the dough for 1 pizza, which is 2 cups of flour. And it's that easy. So you just mix this up to where it comes to a really nice dough. And I'm gonna continue mixing it probably around 15 minutes. Adding, I want the dough to come off my hands too, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, and this is olive oil, to the mixture. And I'm gonna continue mixing the dough and getting it to where I want it to be before I let it to rest. So I'll be back, keep on mixing the dough, and then when it's ready, I'll show you exactly what it's supposed to look like, and that's when you have to let it rest. I'll be back. Okay, so you can see all the dough came off of my bowl. I'm gonna put it on a board here that I use only for my baking needs, for my doughs, the doughs. And I'm gonna mix it like this. By doing this, you're also incorporating and moving everything around so that everything will be more, it does something to the dough to where the dough is nicer and fluffier, and believe me, it will be well worth it. So let's do this. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on my hand here, just a little bit to coat it, not a lot, like this. And I want to do this to the dough for about 10 minutes. If you have a mixer with a hook that can hold this dough and mix this dough properly, it's probably a better way to do it, because it'll mix it faster and it's going to get done faster. So your option. I like actually to mix it with my hands. I like the dough, to feel the dough in my hands. So that's my preference. But to each his own. Hey, you can use your mixer if you'd like. And this is what I'm going to do. Here, see, all the dough's coming off my hand. That's what you want. And that's what I'm looking to get. And then once this is done, I'll use the same bowl. I'll put some oil in it and let it rise for 20 minutes. And then I'll separate it in two and let it rest for another 10 minutes. And get ready while this is being raising, giving it time to rest and do its thing, I'm gonna make the sauce and I will show you. So another 5 minutes of doing what I just did, and the dough will be ready to rest. Hey, we're back. Here's the dough. It's really nice. See how you push it down, it comes right back. It's good. It's nice. So now what I'm going to do, okay, here's my bowl that I mixed it in. Oops, a little bit too much. Oh well, it's okay. No problem. We'll get this all, the oil all over the bowl, like this. We don't want it to stick. That's the reason why we're doing this. And let this rest. We'll let this rest for 20 minutes. If it's a little bit longer, it's no problem at all. So cover it up and let it rest. Next, we're gonna do while this is resting, we're gonna make our sauce. Hello everybody, I'm back. We're ready for the sauce. Here is the pasta sauce. That's what I'm using for my pizza. I'm gonna put it right in here. There we go. Should be enough for 2. And I'll probably have some left over for dipping, which is also great. They like the ends to dip the ends. And I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of the peppers. It has a sweetness. This is roasted pepper. It's already pre-cut. If you can't find this, you can look for just sweet peppers and then cut them up yourself and add them in if you like. I just find that it gives it a wonderful taste. I have 5 cloves of garlic. If that's too much for you, add 1, add 2, whatever you like. But add some in there because it gives it a great taste, and it's also so healthy for you. To that, I am going to add just a pinch of salt. If you want to omit the salt, so be it. Do that. You don't have to add it in. Mix that up, and let it come to a simmer, a slow simmer. Then put it on low, and at that point I am going to add this dairy-free cream cheese. So just mix it up a little bit and let it come to a slight simmer, and then we'll add that. I'll be back. Right. So it's come to a simmer, it's cooking nicely. I'm not gonna let it cook too long. I just want the garlic and everything to really mingle in there with everything. I'm gonna pour a little bit of oil, just drizzle some on top. Let me put that there. Just drizzle a little bit on top like this, just a little bit. And I am going to put in some of this cream cheese. I'm gonna put in half of the package and see how the mixture is. I think half should be fine. It's a little bigger package than the last one I had gotten. And here's the cream cheese. This will melt in really nicely and give it like a real creamy texture and also a good flavor. You can get this cream cheese, geez, I've seen it everywhere pretty much, in the non-dairy aisle where they have non-dairy products like non-dairy mayo, non-dairy cheese. There's so much of it nowadays. Just look and see. I do find that this is probably one of the best that I've had, so I like it. And I'm gonna let this melt in here slowly. As you can see, my sauce is getting a whiter, or the white color. You can see it melting inside this red sauce, the tomato sauce. So this is the sauce I will use for my pizza. And I'll let this cook for another 10 minutes till this is all melted. Then I'm gonna just let it shut off the stove and just let it cool off for the pizza. Then I'll have to put the pizza on the tray, on the baking pizza tray, and then I want this a little bit cooled off. I don't want it hot, so it's enough time for it to cool by the time I get all that done. So I'll be back. Okay, here's the sauce. The cheese melted, so I'm going to shut off my stove. I'll let it cool, and now I'm going to tend to the dough. Okay, the dough's ready, so I'm just going to pick it up. And I am going to divide it in two for my two pizzas. Let's cut it in two. And now I'm going to shape it into the pizza. I'll put this aside and I'll cover it up until I work with the first one, and then I'll take it out again. Here's my pan. Move everything to the side there, and I'm just going to do it with my hand. I'm not going to use a roller or anything, and just stretch it out to fit your pan. You don't have to do it in a round one. You can do it in a flat square, whatever shape you have, that's fine. I happen to have a pizza pan with the holes in it, so try to stretch it as thin or as thick as you want. Doesn't matter. Let's do this. Just do this. Okay. I'm going to try to get it in on here. Let's see how much more do I have. See, this is really thin here. So I'll take a piece of dough from here. It's easy because nobody's going to see that. It's going to be covered with sauce. What I want to do is put this over the sides a little bit, because I'll show you why. So push it, pull it over like this and like this. This is an easy dough to work with. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to take a fork and just do this. It's not as soggy. I find that it gives it a nice crust. And now what I'm going to do is fill the edges with the same cheese. So as you see, I sliced this from the tub. I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to put it right on the edge here, and I'm going to go all the way around and do the same thing. So I'll be back. Okay, so all the cream cheese is around. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of pull and go under like this. Turn, pull, go under real quick. Create like a stuffed crust, which is vegan, and it's so delicious. And this is what you will use to dip in your sauce. That's why we made some extra sauce, and we made it the way we did because it's so good. It's good for in the pizza, and it's good when you eat it like with this, with a dipping sauce. So it will be delicious. Let's see, like this and like this. All the way around. It's pretty easy, you can't mess it up. You just pull and tuck under, pull, tuck under, all the way around. Everything is done. Then I just run my fork a little bit on the side to make sure that it's all stuck in there somewhat. That will melt in the dough as it's cooking, as it's baking. Okay, so next what I will do is I have some Italian seasoning blend. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that on the bottom, right on the pizza. And here's the sauce. It's cooled off. It's not cooled off completely, but that's okay. So I'm gonna use this sauce. It's cool enough for me to work with. And there it is. And I will just put it all over here like this. And it won't come off because you created this edge, your crust, which will be really nice. There we go. Add as much or as little as you want. It's up to you. That's what it's so nice about making your own pizza. You know what you put in it. You know you can control your ingredients. And that's what's nice about it. So now I have this mozzarella cheese, and I will spread this. And this is very nice because it will melt easily in your oven. You'll see some yellow cheese in here. That's because I had some Colby left over, and I just didn't want to keep that bag, so I put it on top of this one. So this is mozzarella. I would say 99% mozzarella, and this is enough here. I will bake it, and I'll bake it in a 415 degree oven, 415 degrees. I'll look at it in 10 minutes. I'll look at the bottom to make sure their crust is nice and baked. So I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. We have our second pizza here, and I have a helper who's gonna put the pizza sauce on top. Okay, she's learning, so this is what we do right here. Okay, add on. You like to do this? Do you? Okay, let's put some more sauce, a little bit more. How much sauce do you think we need? More?
Maybe so.
A little bit more? Okay, let's put a little bit more. Okay. There we go, like this. Now you can put on the cheese. It's right here. Go ahead and get the cheese. And just spread it all over. There you go. Go ahead. Put it all over. You can make this a family affair and have your kids help you. There you go. Put a lot more, please. You want me to help?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Hold on, let me put some. I will help out so we can get this done faster.
More?
A little bit more. Perfect. Whoops. It's okay. We'll clean it up. Let me do this. Okay. All done. This is the second one. We'll show you what everything looks like when it's done. This is our first pizza. What I'm going to do is I have a brush and olive oil. I'm going to brush the sides. They're just so much more crispier, as you can see. Our pizza is looking great. I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn it. right now. I don't want to get burnt. And do it all the way around. But first you want to let it bake a little bit. Don't put it right at the beginning. Like this. Awesome. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the spices. This is also optional. You guys decide. As I said, this is something that whatever you like, whatever you prefer. But I find that these are so good. And it just gives it a good taste, and it looks good too. So we're gonna put that on the side, all the way around. And I'm gonna move this up because the second pizza is gonna join this one in the oven. So we'll move this up. Let's move this up. Now, gotta grab it real good here. Okay, and then we're gonna put this one in. There we go. And we'll do the same thing to the bottom one. We'll be back. So we're back. The pizza's been out of the oven. I added some arugula to it, just so you have your pizza and your salad. I'm going to add some sweet onion on top, just on the one, and some olives, cut up olives. Then you can add a little bit of olive oil. Just drizzle some olive oil on top, like this, just a little bit. And some balsamic vinegar. Same thing, just drizzle like this. Oops, there we go. It even looks nice. Look at that. That looks beautiful. And we are finished. I hope you like these recipes. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.